Good evening, Doctor.
Dr. Reed.
Do you need any medical...
Come on.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, Nurse Brown.
Good evening.
Do you require medical...
I will be fine.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick.
I'll try, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Do you need any...
I'm afraid
Our job...
that's easy for you to...
I'd like to see...
Wise choice.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening.
Do you need...
I'm fine.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
I'm quite busy.
Do you need my...
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very often.
Thank you for your...
How can we be sure we're making a difference?
Good evening.
And good evening.
Do you need my...
You don't have to worry about me.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. Good evening, Miss...
Good evening.
Is there any...
Really? Perhaps you're right.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, Miss...
I'm okay.
How
So painful.
Do you need any...
I'm afraid I'm...
You are not a burden, sir.
And you have my...
How
So painful.
I have to go now, sir.
I'm all right.
Falling apart.
Don't waste your time
But
with
in
me.
the circumstances, I'm willing to give... Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require...
Do you know...
Despite...
Well, at least...
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
I will not let you down, my boy.
So many days.
Good evening, Mr.
Evening.
Soldier,
Not real.
as long as...
Don't think you can...
Goodbye for now, Mr.
Here again.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir.
I cannot enter.
This unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help. I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
It's locked.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help. I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
I cannot enter. It's locked, all right.
Arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir, and I thank you for your generous donation. It's locked. Good evening, Dr. Reed.
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What?
Whatever your motives, you're making... Do you need
Well, the proximity.
Don't take too many risks with your health, Mr. Chidana. None of us are immune to this disease. Please show me.
Of course.
Good evening, Nurse Hawk.
Good evening, Doctor.
Pepper, are you You should be proud of what you've achieved. This hospital represents hope for many people in need of...
Maybe you're right, but at the moment,
What steps are you prepared...
I don't know yet. My sister believes that
And what about Milton Hooks?
for Milton, any change means more comfort.
If you feel that saving lives is not...
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science... You're gonna be all right. Trust me.
Goodbye, Nurse. Hello again,
I'm eternal.
What can you tell?
War was... Well, you know, sir. Stench of death everywhere. Your mates lying bleeding in the mud.
I fought in France, too. I served as a field surgeon, but it was not uncommon to repel an assault, especially at night.
Yeah. The first time I was wounded, I had to protect the infirmary from hostiles. Twat.
Did you know Oswald Thatcher?
No. We met in the battlefield. I think we're in the same boat to France. We've stuck together ever since.
You are always welcome at the Pembroke Hospital. As a former officer, I'll be honored to welcome...
I'm not giving up on bringing Oswald back to the hospital. I just need to convince him that he needs some help.
Perhaps he needs to reach that...
Could you speak to him? He doesn't usually listen to doctors, but perhaps because you've been through it, You can...
Why do you stay here now that Mr.
That's complicated. Since the war, Oswald's been really nervous with the idea of entering any hospital. And me.
Can you speak?
Rats, sir. Even seeing one.
What caused your phobia?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers.
Go on.
It started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears, with fingers, lips. I couldn't move. Couldn't...
I see.
No, you don't. You have no idea what it is to wake up buried under bodies. Fucking vermin eating your flesh. Oswald.
Do you need...
No thanks, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Hello again, Mr. Thatcher.
Yes, this neighborhood may stink of dog shit and reek of piss, but to me it smells like the purest mountain.
Mr. Thatcher, do you...
No. Since I came back from the war, I spent most of my time and energy just trying to forget.
I understand what you mean.
No. Nobody...
Why were you locked in that sewer?
I went by the canal after an argument with a friend. Got chased by these fucking wankers and had to barricade myself in, despite...
Tell me about your claustrophobia. Has anyone given you an official diagnosis?
That's what the bloody doctor said. But I don't want to go to...
Why did you run?
Newton wanted me to go to a hospital, but I can't...
Oswald, why did...
I don't trust doctors. All they care about was their career.
Your fear of being trapped is not going to go away by itself. You need professional help.
I've seen enough butchers in white coats to last a lifetime. Hospitals reek of chemicals and death. What I need is fresh air.
Do you want to talk about why you have this?
No!
An irrational fear like yours is usually rooted in a
Well,
specific...
doctor, take a guess then, if you're so interested in my...
Perhaps you were trapped or locked in somewhere as a child. The horror of war could have brought this memory back to the...
Are you joking? I grew up on a...
Goodbye, Mr. Hello again, Mr.
Good evening, Doc.
Goodbye, Mr. Opium is one of the main ingredients of Strickland's medication. Never a good move.
Steady, boys! We've got one of them here!
Good evening, sir. Dr. Jonathan Reed, that's who I am.
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you...
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here.
So you're a concerned criminal?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you?
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on this...
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah.
So, tell...
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want...
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your state.
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The wet boot...
What can you tell me about...
Things ain't that bad, thanks to us. We give people what they need, and we can...
Well, you're not doing a very good job. People are still dying.
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says if we can find more guns, we could be...
More efficient? Really? You should probably tell Edwina that guns are useless against diseases and infections.
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more smart than patient. My sweet...
I know you're looking for an honest job, Booth.
It's just an idea. Edwina loves to...
Goodbye, Mr. Digby. Good evening, miss. I am Dr.
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I ain't...
I'm not here to collect payment, Miss...
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want?
What can you tell me?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't...
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can...
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want.
I'm not interested in a career.
Fair enough. Stay away.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel...
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us. Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats word.
What can you tell me about this?
You can't trust anyone around here.
You sound like you're thinking of...
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the...
Looting corpses in a mass grave.
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards...
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Bastards, all of them. This region...
Booth Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes.
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. For one. What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about these things.
I believe you manipulated Booth.
The poor bastard is good to me, if you must know.
So you're just like any other couple?
Yeah, we're so ordinary that I'd put a bullet in his head if he ever cheated.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edward.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution.
And your conscience is clear. You killed...
Violence is an efficient tool, Dr. Reed, when used...
So you decide who lives?
Yes, Doctor. Just like that. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying it's my way of
What happened exactly?
I don't know, and I don't care.
So you have no idea what really happened?
No one messes with the wet boot boys, Doctor. This is our territory, and this is our...
Can I see what...
As long as you have money, I'll...
You again.
Do you know Edwina says...
Edwina's the one who asked to be called Mrs. Cox, even though Clay hadn't touched her.
You have not answered.
She's a passionate woman. I've no doubt she'll shoot me down if I ever betray her, but that's not going to happen. I love her as...
Tell me about the man you killed.
One of us had been killed, so we had to return.
There has to be...
No, really. One of us got killed, so the killer had to die. That's how things have always been done round here. No.
Are you so heartless that you could pull...
Have you looked around recently? Do you...
Goodbye.
Just another lost orphan.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You remember?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality.
I'm still Tom Watts.
Do you need...
I'm all right.
What can you tell me?
It's not that bad. Thanks to people like the sad saint of the Easter...
Who? How is it you can keep this place open?
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by my...
I see. So you get pressure from all sides?
Or something like that. Nothing that...
Since I'm...
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running...
How could a physician...
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in.
You're something of a figure.
I'm only pouring alcohol for every...
Sabrina seems very fond of...
I like her too. I really do. I know I'm her boss, and I'm much older and all. But I like her.
What is bothering you, then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger.
Goodbye, Miss...
Perhaps I should shut the turquoise for
Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy top.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor.
What can you tell me?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning.
You look concerned, Miss Kelly.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid.
If you're uncertain about your safety here...
I've got responsibilities. And it's not like...
This place seems...
We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke. Mr. Hampton, who runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's...
So this bar is...
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need.
Sabrina, tell me about...
I love Tom. Not ashamed of it. Don't care if the customers joke about it, neither.
Does Tom love you?
Yeah, but he's always reluctant to take it further. It's not because I'm younger, or because of the colour of my skin. He hates jokes about...
Who's mocking you?
I mean, we're always together.
Excuse my curiosity, but
Something bothering you?
believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the color of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom, Dyson, Miss Fishburne, and...
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was
nosy. My dad was a sailor from
Goodbye, Miss Cap.
Perhaps I should shut the turquoise for a time.
It's locked.
Hello, boy.
Hello.
Did I scare you? Well, I won't.
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus.
What can you tell me?
It's all about staying out of trouble. But since most people prefer to avoid me, it's pretty easy.
Why do people...
They call me Rufus the Curse.
Have you ever thought about...
Where else would I go? At least I know these streets and some...
What do you do?
I listen to the news on the docks, sir. And I smile at those kind enough to spare.
What do people say?
Things have been tense between the wet boot boys and the communists. They both feel they should run the dock.
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work. What with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do.
Are you alone?
I don't have any.
So you have no hope?
No. I mean, yes.
You should be careful, Rufus.
Well, I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I have Mrs. Fishburne. She's been very kind to me.
Why do you think she's so...
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good soul. Sometimes it's like she replaces the mother I lost.
So long, Rufus. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it all...
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions.
Don't like questions. Or doctors. And the name is...
What can you tell me about...
A shithole filled with maggots.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
No. Hate them all.
Is there no one?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his...
What's your...
I take care of my mum. That's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so.
You seem upset.
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot.
Sometimes it's hard.
I just wanted to smile. No, I was thankful for it.
Goodbye, Mr. Good evening.
Yeah.
Do you require... I don't know.
And is it your...
Goodbye, Mr. Evening, Ruth.
Evening, Miss.
Do you need help?
A real
The real doctor treats...
I don't know what to say.
Hypocrites, all of them. Maggots and liars.
In the meantime, the boys are waiting for us.
From Seymour to my beloved mother Stella. Fishburne, that sneaky bastard. It's locked, all right. I cannot enter. It's locked, all right.
It's a leech! Kill it! Die, vermin!
We have to stop it!
so much alcohol, he could keep this district afloat for quite some time.
Some call this the bad part of town.
Good evening, Mr. Fisher.
Yeah.
I have retrieved the gift for your mother, sir.
Great. Give it here then and take this for your trouble.
I also found the corpses. The ones under which you left the necklace, Mr. Fishburne.
Ah, so that's where I left it. I can be a bit stupid sometimes.
Have you no remorse?
I have many weaknesses, Dr. Reed, but like...
You're not a mindless animal, Seymour. Surely you have something to say about these murders. Speak up.
Could be right, Dr. Reed. Maybe it'll do some good to confide in a gentleman like you. You being educated and all.
Did you take pleasure in killing them, Seymour? All those people, all those lives extinguished.
I take no pleasure from it. Just gives me peace. Stills the anger. For a time.
Don't you think you should seek help?
No. And don't dare speak about me to your colleagues either. Keep your mouth shut tight. Especially about my mum.
This rage you feel.
I tried. For my mum. I tried for her. Telling the truth made me feel...
Tell me about your victims, Seymour. Who were they?
What? Why should there be? They just kept getting on my nerves.
How many? How many victims?
It's not like I keep records.
You feel nothing, do you?
You seem pretty calm yourself, don't you?
We're not talking about...
That right? Well,
Why is your mother protected?
I'm her son. She's the only one who knows me. Sometimes I think she knows me better than I know myself.
I understand you love her, but can't you see?
Do you think my mum would have a better life if I were dead? She seems so sad to know me sometimes.
I don't believe death is the approach.
There is no law around here. No...
Goodbye, Mr. Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy for...
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try...
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
I drink. I drink it.
Why do you drink?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine come.
You sound very sad.
That's because I am.
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? Drink in the morning and at noon. I'll drink at night.
Is there anything in particular that...
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood.
Why are you so...
Cynicism is the polite way to express despair.
No reason at all to rejoice, then?
Let me tell you
All right.
A few years ago, when I believed
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded.
You lost people.
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst...
I'm sorry.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is. I'm not sure I'd memorize.
Is there any...
How dare you? Let me...
All right. What you... I'm...
It's okay.
Is there any... Surely you...
Sure. I wanted things to change.
Sounds like you were an idea...
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believed that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the...
Do you really think the world is...
No. I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most of us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty. I failed for...
I want to know more about you.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor. Make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world.
Do you believe in a blood...
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my...
Is there any...
How dare...
No.
Let me
Another time. Goodbye.
Welcome back, Doctor.
Tell me about your arrest for attempted...
I tried to kill someone. I got arrested.
Do you think prison changed you?
I don't know about that. All I brought...
But do you feel cleansed?
All I know is that I'm at peace. I did what I did.
So you mean your customers...
Yeah, why do you think this is the last pub open? I have nothing to...
You attempted murder.
I was given an order to kill. I was an obedient gang member at the time. A proud, wet boot boy.
So you were ordered to kill someone?
I don't know if you can possibly understand, but... I couldn't kill him. I just stood there pointing my gun. Someone saw...
Why couldn't you shoot?
My target was eating in that fancy restaurant with mirrors and music. He was eating, drinking, laughing.
You've had a sad, violent and lonely life, with no joy to speak of. You realized that you were living with...
No, not really. I had friends and happiness in my life. It was more about just being pleased for the guy.
Why did you join?
Because I finally felt useful. Do you have any idea what it means to feel respected when the rest of...
Why not leave town and start a new life after you got out of jail?
I grew up in the East End. This is where my roots are. This is where I want to help others and die, eventually.
Do you think the docks will always be a hive of scum and villainy?
As long as poverty and fear run the show.
Don't you feel threatened? Staying in...
I've made peace with my violent past, Dr. Reed. I may not be a pacifist, but I'm not angry.
Why does your waitress feel in danger working on...
This part of town is dangerous for all, but for women it's worse, as always. Sabrina is a brave girl, but she can't help feeling...
Do you think she has good reason to feel this way?
Of course I am. The truth is, she's tougher than me deep inside. She just has to learn to...
You lied to me, Tom. Your warehouse wasn't empty. It was inhabited with armed...
I'm sorry, Dr. Reed, but I thought those Prewen guards would be willing to let someone like you pass without trouble.
That was devious of you, Tom. Next time...
I apologize, Doctor, but...
Here is your booze. I hope it will appeal.
Believe me, Doctor, most of my customers are less agreeable when sober.
Goodbye, Mr. Watt. Good evening, Mr.
What?
Inebriation.
Yes.
Take this.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop. The only remedy I can...
Goodbye.
You still working at this hour?
Were you aware of Tom?
That's the first thing he told me when he offered me the job. He didn't want me hearing about his past from...
Did it surprise you?
Not really. I was already aware of his reputation.
Most people would have run away.
Not me. I thought a man like him could give me...
Tell me, Sabrina, do you really believe Tom has renounced his life of...
He proves it to me every day he tells the truth. Tom Watts is a good man.
And you don't think he might fall back?
We can all do terrible things, Dr. Reed. And we never know what we're really capable of until it's too...
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
I should have offered a drink to the boy. Be he cursed or not, he's just another lost orphan.
Be something can be done to get out of this bullshit.
Please, sir. Can't let you through. Leech spotted! Watch out!
High grenade! Filthy fucking bitch!
Filthy piece of shit!
Safer places to be than here. It's one of them!
This is no place for you, sir. Die, Leech!
He's mine! I'll take it!
There's one of them vermin! Boom! Best be moving on. Crush the lead! That lead died, vermin! Go back home,
It's a
idiot!
leech! Get it! It's too far!
Yes. The place has changed since the explosion, but it was definitely here. I should find some way to pay my respects. It's locked. May all who suffered from this tragedy find or rest in peace. This place. Rain may have washed away the blood, but not the memory. My poor Mary. This is my watch. Damn grave robbers.
outside.
Good evening, Mr. De...
What? Oh, you're...
I hope I live long enough to see them wet.
Inebriation.
I already...
I found the location of the explosion, Mr. Delaney.
Really? That's so...
It's nothing, really. You're the man who hid that bomb.
I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
I think I'm losing my mind.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause.
I cannot enter.
It's just as likely to cause a problem as to solve one.
I think drink no longer stirs me. You again. What do you want?
I know you believe monsters are real.
They are. I know, I saw one, but no...
Tell me what you saw.
It was a few years ago. Clay Cox was still the boss then. He'd sent me to the shipyard to find out who was stealing tools and ropes at night.
Go on.
First, I thought it was an old lady with a limp. It looked...
Do you know what it was?
It was all eyes and long teeth, but I couldn't see its face. I shot at it when it moved towards me and I hit it. And then it jumped and vanished in the...
You could have imagined all that. These dogs...
No, Doctor. That night, I saw the fucking sewer dog for real. It's not a beast, like the stories say. It's the ghost of an old woman. Bullets can't stop it.
Are your friends mocking you?
Even Edwina told me once to never speak about it, but I know what I...
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
Running completely amok.
You again. What do you want?
Goodbye. Good evening, Miss...
Hello again, Dr. Reed.
Tell me your feelings about Booth's...
It makes him look weak in front of the boys, that's my...
You don't believe he really saw...
I don't care what he saw or not. All I know is that a real man keeps his fears to himself.
I managed to reach the mass grave in Southwark.
Spare me the details, Dr. Reed. All I want to know is what happened to those bastards who owed me money.
I'm afraid those bastards, as you call them, are in the mass grave.
Dead? Shit. That money would have been useful. Well, I'll tell my boys to avoid the place if it's that dangerous.
Yes. Everybody should avoid...
Okay then, Doctor. It looks like you deserve your reward after all. The Wet Boot Boys thank you for your help.
Can I see you?
As long as you have money.
Good evening.
Hello again.
Goodbye, Miss Cobb. Good evening, madam. I'm Dr.
Why?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
The disease takes away the good people too.
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. Just grow eyes in the back of that head, sir. Gentlemen are easy targets in these parts.
It's locked.
So you have questions?
Yes. Among...
Forgive my rudeness at the door.
How is life?
Life has always been hard in the East End.
Do you think the increase in violence has...
Don't know, but it's most likely linked to the gangs if you ask me. Recently, it's like everyone has had to pick a side.
Violence has always fed on poverty, don't you think? It's a cruel law of the human condition.
And selfishness is their rotten fruit. These days, you could just die in the gutter and no one will bat an eye.
May I ask what you do for a living?
Since my husband died, I worked at the Dawson...
How do you pay...
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad.
Did your husband die?
Oh no. My Jack was a docker. He died.
The orphan that regards you as a mother, please tell me about...
You mean Rufus? I wish I could...
But you're not.
Years may have passed, but I haven't forgotten how it feels to go through days with nothing but an empty stomach.
Stella, I know you are ashamed of your son's crimes. So why do you protect Seymour?
I can't report my own son, can I?
Burden?
They'd hang him for sure.
I understand your pain.
If someone ever found the courage to speak to the police, I will take my...
Your son's gone way beyond simply bullying people. He has a taste for blood, and you know it, don't you, Stella?
One night, he told me straight up, in his own words. It was several days after one of his... episodes.
Why did he confess?
No. I guess...
Did Seymour tell you...
More than I could stand. The words he used to describe his... hate, his rage, how he feels.
Tell me about these demons Seymour needs...
Seymour used to be such a happy child. And he is still a helping son most of the time. But when he gets angry, you can...
All men and women are born innocent, Mr. Science has only just begun.
There ain't no hope then. Somehow, somewhere, my son has turned into a monster, and nothing will bring him...
Goodbye, Miss...
I can't remember the last time I had a good sleep. I've been nothing but worry.
And every dawn another death.
It's locked.
Patients are not fools. You know we are overwhelmed.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks.
You killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are...
So in the end, the accused... Anyway, I have concluded my...
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship.
So who was it?
My lady. The blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
vampire?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon. And that...
So we are Ekons.
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are But...
Are you?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of...
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no...
How could this cause a...
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but...
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
I don't understand.
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your...
So me being a vampire...
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I know this is beyond the pale.
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now. And 20...
And who bestowed upon you this?
My maker. He left this isle
Very well. But
A lady has to have...
Why did you save me?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
What type of...
Not a true vampire. The deformed
William Bishop wasn't the
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, scowls are the progeny of careless vampires.
Why does Dr. Swansea
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man.
What do you know about this?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere...
And no one's...
As you well know, suspicion...
Are there many
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet...
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the sharks smile.
That sounds like a...
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is...
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is...
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This is...
Things have gone from bad to worse here.
The Spanish flu has...
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadow.
What is it you...
Fear has long since flown this form.
When I awoke, changed.
Though I can't be certain. More than light.
Once Gloria...
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous.
You make them sound...
More a society, and like all the best ones, a secret society.
I bid you farewell. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient. Razvan Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it. I cannot enter. Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional...
Please speak. But I have...
This strain of flu. It's very different.
Really? What?
I've just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting.
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur?
There's a lot we're not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy!
And why not? What did Stoker say about the Children of the Night? Well, using my blood, I could create a whole army of vampires.
Surely...
We'll discuss this more later.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said...
Yes?
I'm afraid it's...
My sister.
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan.